a war going on. The books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, everyone, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Saturday, June 28th. Should be a great sports betting day here as we get ready for tonight's companion coverage here on the Sports Bunny Network with UFC 317 here tonight. Should be awesome to have the guys here get ready for our show tonight at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific approximately. Lost a fight, so going to push that forward here. That's what they tell me anyway. And big two main events tonight, including the vacant light heavyweight championship between Topuria and Oliveira, and the flyweight championship champion Alexandra Pantoja taking on Kai Kara France in that one, and some other great fights tonight. We'll be along here, as I said, at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, maybe a little earlier. We'll see what we can do. Get you ready for a great night, man. We're going to have some fun tonight with the UFC 317. You can get my picks tonight over at winnable.com /Ramon. I've already got my full card previews out there. Subscribers, you should have it there. Hey, I'm coming off a pretty big last Saturday, one of the best cards certainly for me of the season, and was one of the top ranked pickers for sure last week. We had some pretty good picks there, I thought, and you can pick up my picks here. I'll tell you about it in just a moment, but you can get my plays today in the UFC. All right, let's talk about the action from Friday night. Pretty fun night of sports betting. Hopefully you guys had a good card. Man, big WNBA card last night, but we'll talk Major League Baseball here as well as soon as I say hello to the folks in the chat. Thank you for coming by today. We've got a relatively smooth show here, mostly baseball to talk about. There's a little bit of the international soccer games today with the Gold Cup continuing here tonight, and the CONCACAF Gold Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup as well gets underway here in just a couple of hours with Botafogo and Palmeiras, followed by Chelsea and Benfica. Daytime afternoon action, actually, in the FIFA Club World Cup. Robert McCormick, hello. Thank you for coming today. Cash Kane is here as well. Says, let's get it. Old E joins us in the chat. Jermaine is here today. Nice to see AJ Stogsdill here today. Thank you. And look, after seeing Deontay Wilder last night, why can't he fight Jake Paul tonight, right? And yeah, there's a little bit of boxing here this evening that we can maybe mention. It's mostly about the UFC, but there is Jake Paul tonight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Jake Paul minus 575. Got an opponent in there basically paid to fight him, and we know that. So that's how it works in Jake Paul fights. We'll get the pick. Maybe we'll get the pick from Sub here later on. But hey, B-Lo, nice to see you, says Iga. Might be in trouble here in this one. Well, Iga's fighting back here right now in the match against Jesse Pagula. Hey, we did send out actually Pagula as our premium pick. I couldn't get down with the men today. I guess if I could say that. I only had premium picks on the two ladies matches here today, and Below on my joint here to win. I did take Iala actually as my premium pick with the 2.5 games, but right now, strong performance by Maya Joint to go into the second set. Also, Greek Sport leading Mutet 2-1 in their match there as well. Soon to start, Fritz and Brooksby as well in our championship matches today, because we're getting ready for Wimbledon here in a couple of days, and wrap up these matches here, these grass court finals today. Hey, hopefully you're with me with my AFL premium pick that just came home a short time ago with the West Coast Eagles and the Collingwood Magpies overnight winner with the under in that one, with a lopsided game certainly, but nonetheless we did have the under as our premium pick there between West Coast and Collingwood. Brought one home right there with the 88-59 victory for Collingwood. They didn't cover the 60 points. The other team scored 60 points, 59 anyway. All right, let's take a look at some of the action for Major League Baseball here last night. And let's see here. Tex, he was with Deontay Wilder. T-Bird said that was a good night of WNBA last night when you got 5 games going on. Nice to see you there today. And also, Real Madrid Doge here. He had the over in the Valkyries game. My hot winning streak came to an end last night. Oh, I think I did you remember months ago, or I don't know if you remember, I said I was going to put my highlights on the screen every time, and maybe do that while I'm running I typed a little bit, let's see here. I had the Yanks 3-0 win over the A's. I had the Phillies massive win over the Braves. My 14-1 spread run ended over there at Tony's, but I still had the over in the Valkyries win. And what else? I made the call on the Mercury crushing over the Liberty. Why am I reading this if I'm going to run a ticker? But anyway, let me go over the baseball while I'm going to start running this ticker, maybe to highlight some of my wins. That's what I'm going to do to pump me up a little bit. All right, let's take a look at some winners, though, in Major League Baseball last night here with the card. And we did have some winners there and some news as well in the major leagues from last night. The Mets and Pittsburgh last night, and it was the Mets crushing Pittsburgh. Hey, we had the Mets here on the Morning Steam show there yesterday, plus the run line, but they didn't need it. They crushed the Mets 9-1 there last night. Also, we had that double winner I mentioned there on the screen with the Yankees on the run line, and the under was our premium pick. We had the Yankees on the run line as our pick here on the show, and then our premium pick was on the under. It was 3-0, as I said right there. Also, we had a premium pick winner yesterday with the Toronto Blue Jays, and why not? Man, what's wrong with Boston right now? I will say this. The steam you may have heard in the background is on the Boston Celtics. Not sure I can get behind it right now, the way things are going with the Blue Jays or with Red Sox right now, but the steam is coming in here on the Red Sox at a short price at plus $1.20 or so, and we're seeing it move right now. The Red Sox are going to be down here too, plus $1.05, maybe even money here. Clear move. I would imagine we'll see. Maybe Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I haven't seen any personnel issues here just yet, but could he be out of the lineup tonight after playing in last night's game? we'll see on that. Also, we did have the under in St. Louis and Cleveland. What a performance by Sonny Gray, huh? What a masterful performance. The vintage Sonny Gray there as he shut down Cleveland in that win yesterday. Also, I mentioned there on the screen the double winner with uh, on the road there, Philadelphia over Atlanta. We did have Philadelphia there on the run line as our pick yesterday. Of course, they won it 13-0. We said, hopefully you joined us on the happy. I hope you joined me on the happy hour. I said specifically on the happy hour that we were going after Bryce Elder. That's why we were going to be on the Phillies yesterday. Bryce Elder got mopped up there, I believe, early on in that game. 13-0 final, and it was early. They were down 11-0, I believe, in that game. So we did have Philly in the over. Also, premium pick winner last night with San Francisco and the White Sox under, as San Francisco put it down easily 3-1. Also, we had a winner here on the show with the Milwaukee Brewers over Colorado. They pulled away for the 10-6 win. We had them on the run line as our pick here yesterday on the Morning Steam Show. And another Morning Steam winner was the Kansas City Royals on the run line against the Dodgers. Remember, I was going Kansas City, and then I added the run line at the last minute. Sounds like a desperate guy, but we got it done with Kansas City on the run line. Dodgers won the game again, 5-4. But Dusty May, he might not be long for the starting rotation right now, especially if the Dodgers get some of these pitchers back. Hopefully nothing's wrong with Dustin May, but right now he's not getting it done here. They won the game, so and they only gave up 4 runs, but Dusty May, something looks a little off with him. Miami last night on the run line was our winner over Arizona as they won it 9-8. We had them on the run line. They won it outright. No problem. Good job. Okay. Want to whine about one bad beat last night as I had a premium pick on the under in the game between Montreal and Hamilton in the CFL. And what happened? I think it was it was a very low score at halftime. It was still going well under. It felt like they were in the third quarter, and then the teams exploded, went over there. So I don't whine too much there, but I did on that one. WNBA, though, talked about my streak there kind of coming to an end, probably because I was talking so much about it. That's when you jinx yourself, but also you're not going to win that many in a row. And spread sports, just picking them one after another. Been an incredible run for me in the WNBA, and I'll keep it up. Hey, Pagula with the win, and I have the premium pick winner just now. Pagula getting that win over Iga, heading into Wimbledon with a nice victory, beating Swiatek here, and I had Pagula as my pick here on the morning on my winnable VIP or my winnable premium pick selections. Hey, it's early here. So in WNBA, I don't have much to report with the winners yesterday, although I did have the Sky and the Valkyries game to go over yesterday over there at Tony's picks. So I did go 1-1 with those picks. Also, though, hopefully you caught me on the happy hour when I talked about the Mercury as my pick over the Liberty yesterday. It's really the only game I did nail it pretty good, but it's really the only thing I did right. It felt like in the WNBAs, we had Phoenix on the happy hour. I said take them against the Liberty in that one, and we did have the over here on the show yesterday. Okay, a little bit of steam coming in again here right now, just moments ago with the Minnesota Twins. They're taking some steam here right now in their matchup with the Detroit Tigers. And man, what has happened to Detroit? I keep talking about how good this team is, and they just keep losing. So here comes the steam on Minnesota at plus $1.40. And right now, Minnesota is headed downward. Currently, it is Minnesota here just moments ago down to maybe as low as plus $1.20 right now. So, maybe there is a little bit of discount on Detroit today, but they struggled yesterday. against the Twins. And, we had Detroit. Okay, let's get into some of the action here today and get your comments and picks, and we'll get ready to go here. Let's see here. All right. Andrew said Soto's hot here. He's starting to hit a little bit. And Thomas says, man, how about those scores last night? We were playing slow pitch softball. Jermaine likes Giolito under in his outs today, even though I just mentioned that steam a little bit. But what is wrong with Boston? They are in trouble here, it feels like. And Jermaine says they should maybe when Emmett Sheehan can keep it rolling here, he can replace May. Good morning to Teresa as well. Jermaine had Nimmo there, it looks like, when his homer there. And Irish Kings here. All right, let's get into the action. Let's stop running this. And hey, everyone, you can get my best picks over at winnable.com, including my UFC picks here for UFC 317. If you want to get started, we have programming for you, including First Strike is up and available right now on the YouTube channel for Sports Money. You can get the picks from the Sports Betting Bros and from Subhuman Gaucho. Get ready for tonight's action. And also you can check out VB MMA picks with me and VB. And our guest this week was Liam Picks Fights. So we had a good show here this past week previewing UFC 317. So check it out over at the YouTube channel for our picks. And you get, like I said, you can get my picks for tonight right now. Just $3 a la carte. Click on the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, and that's how you can get involved with my full card. Hey, have my picks at the ready. Why not? Going into the UFC 317. All right. And I'll have Major League Baseball as well here, and probably soccer action. There's a big Major League Soccer card tonight, so I'll be doling out a premium pick card in Major League Soccer here tonight. All right, some steam just came in a few moments ago on the over between the Athletics and the Yankees. That's with the Yankees having gone 15 straight unders. It's going to be the first game we're going to lead off here, so we'll kind of just go right into it. But that total is now up to 9.5, maybe just slightly shaded to the under, but that's after a 3-0 win yesterday, and the fact that the Yankees have gone under in 15 straight games. The total's moving higher here this morning. So go figure. Maybe it will be a higher score today. All right. A few more here. Jermaine, thank you there. And Solo. Great to see Solo in the chat. Hope all is well. He's ready to go tonight as well. And Stop Geo there. He'll be with us tonight in the chat for the UFC coverage. Okay, let's just get right into it. We were talking about the Yankees game with the A's. Let me go ahead and update the total in the back and before I get it rolling here, because we're seeing that move to the under. We already know the Yankees, pretty big favorite here, north of 250. I'll call it 265, I guess. That seems like maybe a nice consensus number, with J.P. Sears going up here against Clark Schmidt. Well, Yankees, that's a pretty big favorite. They did shut out the A's yesterday. And, hey, if you're looking to maybe pick on some teams here, maybe for the Yankees, this is a matchup that they can handle here finally. I don't say finally. We know the Yankees are kind of cruising right now here in first place. Tampa Bay, for some reason, they can't figure out Baltimore. So Yankees currently up here in the American League East by 1.5 games. And for J.P. Sears here, he comes in with a 5.44 ERA, 1.33 whip, 274 batting average against, and a 290 BABIP. Sears has had his share of struggles. Meanwhile, for Clark Schmidt, Clark Schmidt comes in here with a 2.84 ERA in 12 starts, a 106 whip, 194 batting average against here. Pretty good numbers here for Schmidt. 236 BABIP into this one. So, you know, it feels like a pretty big advantage here, but nonetheless, that steam will come in on the over despite the fact, let's just say it for the third time in the last 2 minutes, the Yankees have gone under in 15 straight games here currently, and just a wild run here. Like I said, if anything, shows more their inefficiencies, I guess, on offense here at this point. Nonetheless, for the Yankees, they've also won 4 of their last 5 games at home. They've won 6 of the last 7 when taking on the Athletics. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but 4 of the last 5 here in Yankee Stadium between these two have gone under. And like I said, just massive unders right now for the A's and the Yankees. And if anything, if you want to continue to ride this trend with the New York Yankees right now, and those, did I tell you it's 15 straight unders? The line just went up like a half a run. So, well, maybe their sharps are coming in, and maybe this is the day for a bunch of runs with Sears in there. But it has been 15 straight games of unders. So let's see what the chat says here in this one between the Athletics and Yankees. All right. Old E says today is a day for the public. Andrew's on the Yankees here. Doge says Yankees run line. Schmidt is starting to look a little better. Thomas says it'll be 4-1 Yankees. It was 3-0 yesterday. Why wouldn't it be something close to that today, the way it's going, huh? Cash Kane says take the Yankees plus a 1.5. Teresa's on those pinstripes, and she likes the under. And Cash Kane says, hey, the last time JP Sears was up against the Yankees, he did get the win. Yep, it was back on May the 10th, or at least the Yankees. Yeah, the Athletics won. I think that's what it means. He didn't get the win. I said that, my bad. But the Yankees won 11-7 in that game. Sears 5 innings, 4 hits, just 1 run. He got a no decision in that one. Teresa likes the Yankees to go under. Old E. You guys are starting off hot today in the chat with the chat all-stars. Thank you for participating. Yankees first 5 over, team total 2.5 minus $1.40. Going to go against JP Sears. The A's have not been good against good teams on the road, right? Who says 12 of their last 13. I tell you what, stop, great stat. They're probably not very good against bad teams either. Maybe they've won a few here. And Yankees for Irish King, and Tex says, you got to lean me under here. It's a cloudy and chilly day. There's some steam coming in right now. I want to pass it along. It's on the under in the Cubs and Houston game with Colin Ray. And I believe Lance McCullers Jr. Is the starting pitcher, so we're seeing some steam right now, and it was 8.5, shaded to the under, but right now, Bovada has moved to 8 over 20, so we're seeing a move to the under here with the Cubs and Houston right now. Robert likes the under in this one between Athletics and the Yankees, and why wouldn't you? Okay, well, I'll just take the Yankees here on the run line. Look, they're already a pretty healthy favorite, so I'm not doing anybody any favors here in this one. They're minus 1.5 at minus $1.35 or minus $1.40. That sounds like a free pick to me, but I think the Yankees will win a game similar to yesterday, kind of like what some of you guys are saying here in the chat. So stop Gio talking about the Steamers here a little bit. Right, stop Gio. I got them in my back pocket, don't I? These guys telling me what they're doing. They're laying it out there for me every morning, for us every morning. All right, want to bring up I've been ignoring the community scoreboard, and you guys do such a great job, chat all stars, with giving us the picks and everything. So I want to look at the community scoreboard here maybe a little bit and see who comes out on top, especially, when some people aren't around and ruin the score a little bit. So Real Madrid Doge is up there, T-Bird's up there, Jermaine's up there, Teresa, Andrew G, Textiles, Old E is in there, and some others as well. So Andrew K in there and Cash Kane. All right. I'm in on the Yankees. Oh, well, what can I do? I'll take them in this one. Twins and Tigers here. Bailey Ober on the mound here, going up against Casey Mize in this one. And you've got, Detroit. We know that they're not that big of a favorite anymore. We just saw that steam come in. So I'm going to put it down to about $1.40 here, but maybe it is just a tad higher. And the total now is, look at this, 9 here. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the next steam move that comes in is on the over in this game. The way this is starting to move higher, we're seeing 9 juice to the over here right now at Circa and at Bet Online and books here in Vegas as well. So I'm gonna put 9 over 15. It feels like we're getting a move right now as we speak. It's almost like I'm saying it's going to say any second steam play, and then it's going to be Minnesota and Detroit because the total is definitely moving over right this moment. I'm not sure it's going over, but let's see what the chat has, and let's go over the game real quick. Bailey Ober comes in with a 4.9 ERA, 1.36 whip, and a 3.01. Babbitt into this one for Casey Mize. Comes in here with a 7-2 record. And the Tigers are 9-4 with Mize on the mound. He's got a 2.88 ERA and a 1.23 whip, 254 batting average against. But the Twins have done a nice job in this series, man. Still, you're going to have handicappers, I think, for the most part, on Detroit again at this price. And look, I'm tired of taking them as a premium play right now. They're just not quite getting it done for me, if you know what I mean. All right, let me get some of the trends here for this game and see if we can't recite them right now with these two. Because, like I said, the moves coming in on the over, I don't know if I'm feeling it, quite frankly. But again, you know me, I'm always still going to gravitate toward those unders, even though we're seeing big time runs here right now. And I haven't got a few overs, but Detroit's gone over in 10 of their last 13 games, including 7 of their last 10 at home. Now, 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. And Minnesota has beaten Detroit in 5 of the last 7 games overall. And maybe that's what kind of we're seeing. Look, I think Bailey Ober can probably deal here today against Detroit. I think he might be in a decent position to have a decent game, despite his ERA hovering close to 5. I kind of want to trust him here to have an okay, a decent outing here. Let me go to the chat. You guys are fired up and ready and sending a bunch of comments my way. So let's get it on here and see what's going on. Want to thank our good friend Cameron Sinnett in the chat for supporting us here on the Sports Money Network. Really appreciate you, Cameron. Great to have you today. Here's 9 Legacies as Yankees run line, followed by the Tigers run line. Not jumping ship, Randall Sheffield. Man, it's really nice to see you in the chat today. Hello, great to see you again, my man. I know you're probably busy. Hopefully you've been taking in the show. And just haven't had a chance to chat because I haven't seen you in a while, but really appreciate you saying hello. All right. Tremaine says he may follow that Twins team right now. It's been there. He's taking the Twins here today against Detroit. Man, I kind of still want to take Detroit just because I really trust this team to be that this year. It's no doubt. I'm, on Detroit, not meaning necessarily this game. I may be, but We got some steam coming in here right now, and it's on the Texas Rangers in their game today against Seattle. Seattle was $1.40, and the Rangers were plus $1.20. But right now, it's Seattle down to minus $1.20, and the Rangers are getting close to just even money here right now. Steam coming in on Texas here against Seattle with Woo and Rocker. Anyway, let me continue on with the chat picks here in this game. Thomas says Detroit game, he's taking the under. And Jermaine says 19-cent move in the game. AOD, hello, nice to have you here today. Irish Kings on Minnesota. Robert McCormick says Tigers, first 5. I don't know if I can. So, in conclusion, I mean, I'm on the Tigers this season, is what I'm saying, right? Look, they're 20 games over 500. They're one of the best teams over the last calendar year at this point. Just seems like every time I get on them right now, they're not always winning. Right? I don't know what's going to. This is my comment with T Bird. I mean, come on. They're obviously awesome here, right? Now, granted, for all they have been ahead, they are up 10.5 units this season. Andrews on the Twins, but Doge says they're terrible. And you know what? They are they're down nearly 10 units this season. So, all right. The Twins are a very streaky team, says Jermaine here. Teresa, thank you. And James Parm, he's on Detroit run line in this one. All right. Well, here's the thing. At least I'm getting a little bit of a discount on Detroit here, down to $1.40 or so if I want to take them here. A few more comments in the chat. Oh, that's all AOD. Thank you. And Teresa says this one might be a little bit tough. And Stop Geo, maybe he's going to the game. I love live betting at a game. It really is a game changer, if you know what I mean, since it's come into fruition here over the last couple of years. All right, and Doge says you got Mize at least on the mount. You do have a definite advantage here. Look, I'm still taking Detroit. I'm just going to do it as my free play on the morning steam. That's no insult, but having been picking them kind of as my premium here a few times, and then they've been letting me down. Which how do they let me down? It's baseball. We know they still have lost 32 games this season, but what I was saying there on one of the shows yesterday was, for all the talk, right, when we had remember when the American League Central was all that, and all those teams were off to the great start to the season. Well, now Detroit has a 9-game lead over Cleveland, 11 games over Minnesota, and 12.5 games over Kansas City. All right, let's move on. We've got the Mets here taking on the Pirates with Paul Blackburn taking on Bailey Falter. And the Mets are favored on the road by, big number. There we go. It's not $1.50. I knew it. Okay, it's $1.40, down to $1.40 here. Pittsburgh has taken a little bit of action here today. The total has moved higher to 9.5 under at minus 120 for this one. And for Blackburn, we've seen him now here on his little comeback a little bit here. He's made 3 starts, 5 appearances, 6.62 ERA. Hasn't been great, that's for sure. 1.75 whip and a 3.61 BABIP for Brady Falter. He's 6-3 with a 3.59 ERA, 2.46 BABIP. These are okay numbers for Falter. The Pirates, despite 33-50, poor record for sure. The Mets are 13 games over 500, but Brady Falter, like I said, winning record. Pirates are 9-7 with him on the mound. So could you get behind the Bucks here today in this one? For me, I look at it as if you got a Pittsburgh team here that has had a pretty good run here of late. They've been hanging in with the Mets in their games. Now, Pittsburgh has lost 8 of their last 12 coming in, but they've won 7 of their last 10 at home. Now, they have lost 16 of their last 23 games against the Mets, but they have covered the run line in 5 straight against the Mets. Mets here have gone just 5 and 10 in their last 15, 3 and 11 in their last 14 games. Overall, just 1 and 6 in their last 7 games on the road. So, what do you want to do here with Pittsburgh and the Mets? I'm trying to lay it out as saying I probably want to take Pittsburgh, and I'll probably just do it on the run line at minus $1.30 here today, but I'm going to do it. I got to take Pittsburgh here in this one. The Mets have had certain struggles. They definitely have a marginal pitcher here right now in Blackburn, just trying to work his way back into some form of success here. It feels like in the major leagues. Get my paperwork in order here. It's blowing all around. It's a little warm in Vegas, so I'm have the fan on a little high. If it's bothering anybody, we'll fix it. Not my computer fan, the fan on my lower extremities. All right, let's go to the chat and see what you have in this one. I might be wearing shorts here with my sports money shirts. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to find it. Here we go. Cash Kate says Pirates first 5 money line. Got to keep fading. We got to fade Blackburn here right now. 9 Legacies says Tigers are slumping at the right time. They have a 20 game, right? They have a big lead, right? So they're not going to be perfect. They're still they would like to get over the hump there a little bit, obviously, after their great run last year and postseason appearance, right? I kind of sell it as wow, look at the Tigers, but really they've already been in position, right? Irish King likes Pittsburgh in this game and says run it back again. Mets here for Doge though, and Teresa says I got to take the Pirates. Thomas is on the over here. Andrew's on the Bucks. Robert's on the Pirates first 5. And still bad weather up there, huh? The Stop Geo says it feels like a pirate spot. And Irish King says Falter's pretty darn good. Actually, the left-hander here. So I'm taking Pittsburgh on the run line. Lando, hello. He's on the over here. And, I'm not on many overs, but I might be on this over. 9 Legacies on the Bucks today. All right, I'm on with you. Give me the Pirates on the run line. Let's move on to the next one here with the Rays taking on the O's with Zach Littell. He's going up against Zach Eflin. This is the 110th time. Probably not. How many times has the 2 pitchers started with the letter Z? How many letters Z first name? Zach. It's pretty popular. How about Zane Smith? Remember him? How many other Z? We got Z against Z here. Whoa. All right. For Zach Littell. Here he comes in with 3.78 ERA. Tampa's 4-11 with Littell on the mound, but yesterday was 22-8 there. 14-run win for the 14. Well, that was the age of Wander Franco's girlfriend. But the Orioles won at 22-8, 14-run win there yesterday. That's a bad joke or what? Eflin here, 5.46 ERA, 2.99. BABIP at a 3.05 BABIP, 2.99. Batting average against here in this one. Look, Tampa Bay is going to be pretty popular. And look, I love Tampa Bay, man. I'm the one coming on here. I'm raving about Tampa Bay all the time. They have a mental block with the Baltimore Orioles, it feels like to me. I whipped with them yesterday, almost regretting it because to a certain extent, I knew it was coming, right? I love Tampa Bay, but Baltimore, What are the numbers with these two teams when they play? Because it doesn't feel like Tampa does very good again, even though we know how great Tampa is. Like I said, they're just sitting right outside of first place right now. Baltimore's won 14 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams. And we know Baltimore has been no better than last place, pretty much. And the Rays have been, right now, they're peak Rays again, it feels like, even with the loss. I'm just talking in general right now. I mean, we've seen the Rays, sometimes they dip down because they're in the East against these great teams. We know that, right? So, hey, not every season's going to be a blockbuster with these guys, but this feels like another Tampa Bay special this year, even with this, going into the minor league stadium after the disaster there in Tampa. Now, Baltimore has lost 17 of their last 24 games at home coming into this one. They've also lost 4 of their last 6. Tampa Bay's won 6 of their last 7 on the road until yesterday, and also they've gone 5-2 in their last 7 games overall. But they've gone 3-6 here in Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore. It doesn't even feel like a good price with Baltimore at $1.15 or $1.20. And let me adjust that total because it's definitely back down to 9.5, which is kind of a surprise to me. There were just 22 runs scored yesterday. Or I'm sorry, 30 runs scored yesterday in the game here. I'm taking Baltimore. I hate to do it. I don't like it, but I'm doing it here on the morning steam because for whatever reason, Baltimore seems to have a problem with Tampa Bay. I know Tampa Bay is going to be really popular with the handicapper, and I was on them yesterday, and so I'm a bitter man. Can't find a bitter man. Oh, that wasn't the words. Here we go. Cash Kane is on the Rays here, run line. And Real Madrid says you got to roll with the steamer. Now, I will say this. The steam came in on Baltimore in this game. Now, that's my steam machine over here. Not to say that there isn't multiple steams. We know that. I'm not the official steam maker, but usually when I give out that steam, that's the way the line is moving. It's not something that I make up and say the steam's on this, the steam's on that. It's more so what the line service is reporting as the major move, and it usually does go that way. Here's Irish King, likes over 19.5. I want to say that's outs for one of the pitchers, but maybe he means 19.5 because of what happened yesterday. Baltimore arms should be tired from last night, given Tampa Bay. But it was Baltimore that was able to deal that game. You're right, Thomas. It was a weak game there. And Nine Legacy explaining the game there yesterday as well. They open as a favorite. They're going to take Baltimore again. I'm on Baltimore, and I don't even like it. But I'm doing it because it just could there be a little instinct involved in handicapping? Remember what I say, a great handicap, you know what? It's a little bit of art and a little bit of science. Robert here is on the over. Jermaine says Caminero to have a big day here. And Stop Geo says the public is on the Rays here maybe today. And Lando says, take the Rays. I can't do it. I can't do it right now. All right, I'm going to take the Orioles today. Here's the Mariners taking on the Texas Rangers. And Wu is pitching. Oh, man, we got to update this one for sure. The Mariners, I'm going to call them $1.20 right now. And the total here has gone maybe to 7.5 over 15. The steam is definitely in here on Texas. And a little bit of a move here for sure to the under. I'll call 7.5 over 20. Still see some. I'm going to call 7.5 over 15. I mean, I'm seeing now 7.5 even. This one's starting to move to the under here with the Mariners and the Rangers today. So let's see what you have. I tell you what, I'm taking the under. I am going. Is this a Texas game at home? I'm going under here with the Texas games at home pretty much until all season. But let's be honest here and let's look at it. You got Wu coming in here, 3.12, 15 starts, 7-4 record, pretty good, right? 215 batting average against, and a sub 1 whip, back .95 here with that whip. Wu 246, BABIP also for Kamir Rocker here, 3-4 record. 6.68 ERA. Rocker has not really found himself in the major leagues yet, but got to keep firing him out there. Look, his strikeout rate isn't even that high. It's only 20%. I say not that high, but, compared to real fireballers, like you were expecting maybe the Rocker to be, right? Still, the Rangers are 4-4 with Rocker. They're 3-5 to the under with Rocker overall. The Rangers are about 35% to the over this season. Most of their games go far under. Now, the Mariners are one of the rare teams that are, maybe they're a consistent over team for sure. They're 44-33 to the over, but I'm taking the under in this one. Come on. Seattle with a good pitcher, or, decent pitcher here in Brian Wu for sure. And Rocker might be the question mark. Someone's still going to make it my free play here. I know we've gone Texas under. I mean, probably more unders than they've gone under, but it's not going to stop us. And I'll go under here in this one. 7, the move's on the under. I think Texas might be hard pressed to score the runs here in this one. Let's see what the chat has. And we got Ray Ochachi in the chat. Nice to have Ray here today. Cash Kane says Mariners first 5 or Rangers plus 1.5 for the game. Cash Kane kind of likes a back and forth game there. Andrew G, hello. Teresa's going over in this one. Thomas Bird says the Mariners for him. 9 legacy on the Mariners. And Teresa says you got to keep going under with this Texas team until forever, all season right now. Right? Feels like the stadium that they're in, whatever's going on there. Yeah, that maybe the pitching has been pretty good, right? They allowed just 3.5 runs per game and score 3.7 runs per game. And 9 Legacy says this game is for second place in the American League West because Houston's on fire. And Texas really isn't. I mean, don't forget, it's Seattle in second place, but you know who's in third? The Angels. All right, here's Seattle money line for Irish King. Thank you, guys. Great job in the chat today so far from the chat all-stars. If you did you might have to word it correctly or but if you I'm not saying I did this, but if you type into some of the AI apps and you ask for like a profile of the morning steam, now you might have to say a keyword or two, or I don't know which one, but I saw it and I made the AI, I think I used Grok, and it said in the synopsis, now I asked for a little bit of extra. I said, give me a deep analysis of Ramon Scott or something, and it said in the Grok, the chat all stars. So AI knows who you are. All right. My Padres are taking on the Reds, and my Padres almost got no hit last night by Nick Martinez, the former Padre. Padres casted him off. The Reds got him, and he almost threw a no-hitter on him yesterday. It was reminiscent of back in 1988 when I was a 19-year-old man taking in a ball game at the old Jack Murphy Stadium, and I watched Tom Browning of the Reds. I've never been to a major league no-hitter. I know I come on this show and I'm like, I've done this and I've done that and I've been there and I've been to the Super Bowl and I've been to All-Star. I've never been to a no-hitter, and I've been to hundreds and hundreds of major league games. Never seen a no-hitter. Tom Browning was throwing a no-hitter against the Padres, 1 out in the 9th inning. I thought I was going to fight against the Padres, but hey, I want to see a no-hitter, and especially when you're 19 years old, right? You don't even know you're going to go to be in your late 50s and never see a no-hitter. Maybe once the A's come to town, I'll get to more games. But Tom Browning was throwing a no-hitter. You know who was up to bat? Tony Gwynn. He broke it up. You're not going to get a no-hitter with Tony Gwynn on a team. but you might get one with this Padres lineup. And that's what happened last night with Nick Martinez. He shut these Padres down for sure. Now, I don't know if I like the price here, even with Andrew Abbott, $1.45, $1.50. This almost puts me again in Padre territory. I'm not sure anybody's going to want the Padres today the way they looked yesterday, and I'm not sure I want them either. But at this price, I might have to take them here with Randy Vasquez. Randy Vasquez, in my opinion, does not get the respect that he deserves. I think his numbers are okay, considering that most people think that he sucks. And, he's not great. But he does have a 3.6 ERA and 235 BABIP. That stands out to me as pretty decent, okay numbers. He's 3-4. Padres are 9-7 with him on the mound. Now they're up against Andrew Abbott, so that kind of that could take you off the Padres if you were even considering them, because Abbott's in here with a 7-1 record right now. They're 10-3 with Abbott on the mound. He's got a 1.79 ERA. It wasn't awesome, knocking them out. It wasn't knocking them all down last time, but 0.95 WHIP, 227 BABIP in this one, and probably be a pretty good game here, but let's see what you guys got in the chat. I don't see much on this game. Everybody's always afraid to go against the Padres in the chat, I think is what it comes down to. You guys don't want to offend me, but I'm offended by the price in this game. I wanted to take the Reds, but I don't know if I want to take the Reds at $1.50. The Reds have won 4 out of their last 5. They've won 8 of their last 10 games at home right now. Padres have actually won 18 of the last 25 meetings between the two teams. Padres, however, they've still won 4 of their last 6, but they've lost 4 of their last 5 on the road here right now. 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams on the at the small park have gone over. Reds, however, have gone under in 4 of their last 5. Here come the chat all-stars. In this one, we've got Reds first 5. Abbott's hot, says Cash Kane. Andrew's on the Reds. Teresa's on the Reds run line. Thomas says no runs first 5 under. A Nerfy and the first 5 under. Gotcha, Thomas. And here's Cash Kane on the under, Fernando on the under, Robert on the under. This is a consensus. And Jermaine says, that is a pretty high price for Abbott. And, I mean, right, okay, I know my Padres are not the top contending team in the National League. They're certainly a playoff contender, right? There's nothing wrong with this record right now, but hey, the Reds are 4 games over 500 all of a sudden. I know they've been up and down. They're doing okay right now. Here's Reds first 5 for Orlando. Reds playing well, but price seems high. Got to go under, says Stop Geo. Look, like I said, I think because, Vasquez, Yankees cast off, I think, if you will. I know it was in a trade, but like I said, I like when you get former Yankee pitchers. Padres have a couple of them. And Cash Kane says, I trust Abbott over those Padres bats. I probably do too right now. Padres offense looked dismal last night. Dose says take the Reds as well. All right. Well, I'm going to go with the under as my play here on the Morning Steam show. I'm assessing it still. Let's see if the line moves at all. Right now, I'm seeing some $40s. See if some sharp action come in there. Maybe I can get a little better. I don't know if I can get a little better. But here you have, talking about Abbott last season against Jermaine says Padres. Abbott last season against Padres, 4 shutout innings 7 shutout innings, allowing 4 hits and a win over San Diego last year. Teresa, Cincinnati run line. And Cash Kane says it'll be a strong outing here against this Padres lineup, which nearly got shut out, nearly got no hit last night. Only a 9th inning run They did work. They actually even got a run, but they got a hit in the ninth inning to break up the no-hitter last night. Similar to that game that I was at when I was 19 years old in 1988. All right. And Line Legacy says Cincinnati on the money line. All right. And Doze here with his little bit of UFC action. Remember, you can always chime in. I don't mean to scold anybody when they were, I think I said it kind of rude to someone yesterday. I said, oh, we're not on, we're on this game, but I don't mean it like that. At any time, please chime in. You might be coming in and out and just want to leave me your best plays to show to the. So I understand all that. Thank you, Doge. And he's got Moicano there over Darius tonight. Cash game. You're right, Cash game. This team will be fine. They're probably not a championship team, but they're definitely going to be contending here. It's going to be close to getting the postseason because of some other good teams. But their Padres are highly above average, obviously. All right, we got the Marlins here with Sandy on the road taking on Fott. And you have a mismatch at pitcher, right? Sandy's still that potentially that guy. He's definitely showing up a little bit better here right now. He put himself in such a hole with the stats that, well, it's not really a big. It's going to take a while for Sandy to get his ERA even under 5. It feels like. We still got to say it, 6.69 ERA and a 286 BABIP, 1.46 WHIP, but much better of late for Brandon Fott. It's not getting much better, 5.38 ERA, but he's 8-5 and 280 batting average against a 306 BABIP. Now, handicapper is going to be all over the over in this game, and maybe it will be an over, but I'm not going to trust Fott here at $1.50. The Miami Bats, they are. Do you agree? I think the Miami offense is one of the hottest offenses in the league right now, and even this total's gone up here a little bit to 9 under 20 right now. So, and I don't know. I could see why. I mean, Miami feels hot. I'm taking them. What's the run line though? It might be a little bit high. Oh, minus $1.65. Even I don't think I could do that. I'm going to take the Miami Marlins on the run line. I mean, on the money line here in this one with Sandy. I'm going to take these Marlins plus $1.25 today here on the road for sure. They scored a bunch of runs last night. Their offense is doing well. And my man Kyle Stowers. Here we got some picks from the chat. Let's get into it. Cash Kane likes the Diamondbacks on the money line. Old E likes the under. And here's Marlins again for 9 legacy. Diamondbacks, and I think that's and the over for T-Bird. Hopefully I'm right. And Jermaine says Marte to have a big day here in this one. He's got him for those over 2.5 runs, hits, and RBIs. Old E says Fott is better at home, and there's some truth to that. Where did it go? There we go. Cash King says Fott's been getting destroyed. Flea Mathis, hello, and Cameron says he's on Darius here. And the one thing I like about that fight, it's closely rated, right? Tremaine says the baseball game goes over. Cash Kane, Marlins on the run line. Get that plus money going. And Robert says Marlins here. I'll take the Marlins as well. Could be some volatility in this one. And next up, we've got the Rockies taking on the Brewers here with Sensatella. He's up against Quinn Priester in this one. And well, for Sensatella, he's got a 6.48 ERA, 1.9 WHIP, 370 BABIP, and a 3-10 record. The Rockies are just in a bad way once again here right now. Colorado comes into this one currently having lost now. This streak is currently 1-7 in their last 8 games. They have won 4 of their last 6 games on the road, but have lost 17 of 25 on the road so far. Greek Spore leading here over Mute. 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but 11 of the last 16 between the two here in Milwaukee have gone over. The widely reported steam did come in here on Milwaukee. We had them yesterday on the run line, and man, they're up to 260 here right now. Oh boy. Still might be willing to take them here on this run line. It's a little high, so it'll probably be just my free play here on the show. It's up to, well, it's only minus $1.25 or so on the run line. Give me the Brewers here on the run line today, just to, beat the pants off of Colorado. Hey, I'm sure Colorado, they're going to show up 1 out of every 5 days, I guess, at least right now, and give you a competitive effort. But that's can be said for any bad team. This is baseball. Colorado's lost 10 of the last 14 games here in Milwaukee currently, and it's been pretty woeful. So give me Milwaukee here. This increased price. Can't take them as a premium here now because of the big 40-cent jump, but maybe that's where you guys, I see there's the Moicano. There's the 3 top fights right there at the end of the UFC card. You can see the numbers here. Always look at the live scoreboard if you can behind my big head. And Charlie Brown here, the head here. And you can see some of the live odds always behind me there every day here on the show. So hopefully you like that little touch that I do on my. Everybody has their own little studios and stages, right, with all their toys. But this is what I have. Okay, let's continue on here with our next game up. It's the Blue Jays taking on the Red Sox. And man, what is wrong with these Red Sox? We know what's wrong with the Red Sox. They've pretty much, it feels like, have mailed in the season here. They had their moments here yesterday a little bit in their game against Toronto, but just feels like it's going pretty bad right now for the Sox. And you got Bassett here on the mound for the Blue Jays. Comes in with 7-3 record, 3.61 ERA, 320 BABIP, however, pretty high. The Giolito also 319 BABIP. He is 3-1 in 10 starts. It does feel like Giolito has pitched better on the road. He has just a 4.5 ERA right now. I don't think that's what the Red Sox thought they were getting with Giolito, but 1.37 whip, 276 batting average against. Sox are hurting right now. The momentum of the reverse momentum, if you will, of the trade of Devers, not getting really an immediate return that is going to help this team. Has kind of put them into, hey, you know what, might not be able to get much done here this season if we're going to be, under 500 right now, especially in this division when you have Toronto playing well, Tampa Bay obviously doing pretty well, and the Yankees up there. Red Sox are going to need a big-time comeback in the second half of the season right now. So anyway, though, with Bassett, and I'll give Giolito a chance here. I'm going to go with the under in this game. But let me see what you guys have. I'll go to the chat. And maybe that will give the Sox more of a chance tonight with Giolito here on the mound. For Toronto, they have won 4 of their last 6 games overall. They've also won 7 of the last 9 games against Boston and 5 of their last 6 games here at Fenway. For Boston here, they've lost 5 straight. They have won 5 of their last 6 games at home coming into this one, but 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams here in Fenway have gone under. Boston's gone under in 10 of their last 15 and 5 of their last 6 games at home. Toronto, however, has gone over in 17 of their last 25 and 4 of their last 5 on the road. Let's go to the chat. All-Stars, let's see what you got here in this one. Oh, you guys, I let you down with that Colorado game. I'm sorry. Man, did I really just go right past and didn't even go to the chat All-Stars when I took Milwaukee? I'm sorry, you guys. Cash Gain says the Rockies will hit Priester. Andrew was on the Rockies. What a dummy I am not to go with the picks. Cash Gain there. Rockies, 9 Legacy, minus 2.5 with Brewers. Hi, Fernando. He's got the Brewers team total over. His is Brewers. Here's Robert on the over. And Thomas says team total over for Milwaukee. And Frelick, he's been hot, says Lando. All right, Teresa there. Miami plus over with Senzatella for the Rockies. Is that right? Hope I got that right. I screwed it up by missing all that. Here we go with this one. Here's Ray says go under in this one with me in the Toronto-Boston game. I'm writing that down. I'm writing down that Ray was with me. And Stop Geo says big move in the Cards Guardians game. We'll get to that one in just a few moments. Here's Robert McCormick on the Jays, first 5. Sox for Doge. Thomas says first 5 under. Andrew says, I think he's saying the Red Sox here. He's making fun of them, but I think he's picking them. Or because I think that's what he calls them. So I don't think he's just Giolito here under in his outs for Jermaine. And hello to SF Niner. He wants some winners today. Me too. All right, let's go to the next one here. We got the Dodgers and Ohtani going up against the Royals and Lugo. You got the Dodgers here, big favorite with Ohtani starting. They're down to $1.60 here. A little bit of a move to the Royals. We know that Ohtani, we're not getting full, complement of starter innings from him here. I contend if you're going to do that, I would look. Here's a prediction. Here's a prediction. I think I made this prediction actually last year, but the Dodgers, when they win the World Series this year, Ohtani will get the save in the final game, whenever it is. I'm not saying they'll move him to close, but he might be in the outfield and they might move him into pitcher or something like that, something crazy like that. But I'd move him. I would put him in the reliever role. I mean, this guy throws 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Why wouldn't you want him in there in that type of game? The pressure of the Dodgers have a closer. They have great closing relief. Why not have Ohtani in there and get it even better? You got all these marginal starters anyway. You're almost bullpenning some of these games. I would go with Ohtani as a closer or a reliever, but maybe they'll start stretching him out a little bit here more and more as he gets more comfortable. Anyway, going up against Lugo here. And, hey, we know Lugo has some okay numbers here. 2.93 ERA, 104 whip, 14 starts, and a 4-5 record. 216 batting average against, and a 230 BABIP. He's got the better numbers than this Ohtani guy. Ohtani, a 4.5 ERA in 2 starts. Doesn't go very long. He's just an opener, really, at this point. 250 batting average against, and 286 BABIP. Ohtani hasn't walked. I don't think he's walked a batter yet. In those couple of innings. So let's see what you got, though, here in this one with the Dodgers and Kansas City in this one. Kansas City got that run line money yesterday. We know the Dodgers are just the best. Okay, here we go. Cash Game likes the Royals money line in the first 5. Doge says, take the Dodgers. The Royals are struggling. Andrew likes the Dodgers here. Thomas says Kansas City team total over. 9 Legacy on the Dodgers. And Robert likes the Royals here in this one. All right, I kind of like the Royals again here on the run line today. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, I'm just looking at the price here. Royals minus $1.20 on that run line today. Why not? I'll take Kansas City on the run line here to stay in there again against the Dodgers. Look, if they're going to, basically you got Dave Roberts. I mean, imagine how good this Dodgers team would be if they had a better manager. Because look, okay, Dave Roberts, they won the World Series. He's terrible. He's awful. I mean, if they had a real manager, they. But when you're throwing a gimmick out there as your starting pitcher, no problem. Not a gimmick. I mean, guys throwing 100 miles an hour, mowing them down, and he has an incredible slider like you wouldn't believe. But for Ohtani, do whatever you want, Dave Robert. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. Never going to root for an injury for anybody like some of the people on these shows in the chat rooms, rooting for injuries and then cheering them along. But hope that doesn't happen to Ohtani. But I will tell you this. The Dodgers have a history of wrecking arms and sending them back to surgery over and over. Now, granted, they got a million pitchers. Not going to criticize the $1 billion arms that they have, but the organization continues to ruin, or not ruin them, but knocking them out for a season because they got to get the arm surgery fixed because the Dodgers, their organization, they also don't know what they're doing there. But good thing they have all that money because they can just bring in some more players. I mean, it's easy. It's easy if you're the Dodgers. Okay, let's see what else here. Irish King, Seattle money line. And Orlando says, Mikhail Garcia, how old is that guy, 50? All right, Jermaine says he had Bellinger. Let's see here. Did I miss the white? No, it's next. Tom, am I not in the right order? Maybe there was a time change today and I missed it. Cam says maybe a Nerpy here in this one. Jermaine, you know what, Jermaine? I think what's happened here, I think the Dodgers are so enamored with their fastball, with the heat that they bring in the organization. I believe that they are incorrectly training their pitchers, because look at all these fast risers, and we're like, here comes another Dodgers pitcher, right? All these guys, even the ones that are hurt, the Dusty Mays, the Emmett Sheehans, some of these guys that we've seen rush to the majors and they immediately get hurt. And it seems like they're training them improperly or not going about it right. Like maybe velocity isn't always the answer, right? We know the best pitchers are the change of pace guys, right? In the end, the ones with you got to have a little something else other than the heater, I guess. All right, Dodgers, first 5 full game money line. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. If you got 20 pitchers and you can just keep bringing them up, you can keep wrecking their arms. They're just a name on the back of their jersey, but the front says Dodgers. So you guys can tell I don't like the Dodgers, but I got to respect them. Got to respect the money. Okay, I guess that's it for that one. Let's go to the Giants and the White Sox and Robbie Ray taking on Adrian Hauser here. Don't make fun of Hauser here with what he's done, man. I've told his story here a little bit already, and you've got Robbie Ray. We know his story. He's been terrific. Ray comes in with a 2.83 ERA, 8-2 record in 16 starts. The Giants are 13-3 with Robbie Ray on the mound. Man, he's looked good. 211 batting average against, 1.15 whip. For Hauser here, he's done a fine job as well since coming to the White Sox. 2-2 record with 2.27 ERA. All 6 of Hauser's starts have gone under. In fact, these two pitchers are combined 5-16 to the under this season. Hauser has a 1.26 whip and a 286 BABIP coming into this one. Let's see what you like here with the Giants taking on the White Sox. Here today was Giants getting it done there yesterday on the run line. Right now, Giants at currently minus $1.55, $1.60. The total is 8 for the most part. Let's go to the chat here and see. White Sox are still 30 games under 500. Giants are 45 and 37 coming in. So we know where this one is likely headed. But hey, is the price okay? Giants have lost 8 of their last 12 games overall, although they've won 4 of the last 5 over the White Sox. 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over here at Rate Field, but White Sox have also gone over in 11 of their last 16 at home. But last night was just 3-1, 4-1, 3-1 was it? White Sox have lost 12 of their last 15, including 7 of their last 8 games at home. So, let's see. I'm trying to get involved with some of these dogs, but maybe not this one. Okay, let's see here. Is this a dead under here? I don't know. Is Cash Game going under here? SF Niner says take Robbie Ray's K's to go over. Tremaine, I think he's saying maybe this line's going up. And T-Bird says maybe here we're going to see some runs here finally in this series. Here's Andrew on the Giants. Redbeard today. Hi, Redbeard. He's got the first 5 under in this one. 9 Legacy says San Francisco on the run line. And Cam Sinet says Hauser on his K-prop. I'm just going to take San Francisco on the money line, $1.55, $1.60. Here, a little chalky, but it's the free play on the show. I think the Giants will win. I'll find some spots for the White Sox. Hey, we've been on the White Sox on the run line pretty plenty here this season. I don't know if we're showing a profit doing that, but they've been a little bit trusted there, if you will, right? Truth Teller, hello. Oh, man, Truth Teller didn't like the tennis today. Irish King, San Francisco on the run line. Robert McCormick said San Francisco first 5. Cam's got Hauser's K's to go over. Did I get all these already? All right. Give me the San Francisco Giants here in this one against the White Sox. Like I said, I've had the White Sox plenty this season. Now, all these games, this is the big block of games here, the 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. This is when a majority of this card goes off here today in Major League Baseball. All right, I think that'll do it for that one. I'm just trying to look at this White Sox run line record. 46 and 36 as a run line underdog for the White Sox. San Francisco on the run line is a favorite, 17 and 36. That's got to be just a woeful. That's got to be practically disaster. Maybe they're getting some plus money in there somewhere because they're not overwhelming, but it does feel like. All right. Let's move on here right now. The next one. With the Cardinals and the Guardians. I think what I was analyzing the comments there, Irish King and Truth Teller. The Phillies, remember in the game yesterday, they ended up messing with the starting pitching after that long rain delay yesterday. What happened was, I think if I got the story straight, that by the time they got started in the game, Micah Bell didn't start for Philadelphia because he had warmed up, and then the rain delay came. So you don't want to. They messed up with the starting pitching there. I'll follow up a little bit on that when we get to that. Hello to Kelly and good morning to Kelly in the chat. Hello, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, look, San Francisco at home as a favorite, 1-19 on the run line, and they're on the road though today. Yep, good point, Kelly. All right, 9 Legacy Cardinals run line again. Yeah, on the road, San Francisco on the run line a little bit better, not not terribly better, right? But 18-22 a run line on the road, and some of those was underdogs. So okay, Andrews on the Cardinals. We're already into that game. You guys are so good about uh, putting in the plays. Let me. I'm not even paying attention anymore. Okay, Cardinals and Guardians here, and you guys talked about the big move in this one in the chat, right? I'm showing right now. Cleveland $1.20, and the total here 8.5. Under maybe shaded -115 today. As we have Miles Nicholas. He's 4-5 with a 4.31 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, 265 batting average against for Slade Ciccone here, 3-3 record, 3.38 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, and a 252 batting average against. For these guys right now, you got Cleveland, whatever's going on with them. Miles Nicholas and the Cardinals. I won't say Mickelson, but the Cardinals, got it done yesterday with the win there, right? Saw the Cardinals win the game there yesterday by the score of 5-0, and Cleveland's offense was totally shut down. Did not have a good day, and I wonder if it won't be kind of the same case again here. Even though Mikolas doesn't have great numbers, Ciccone 1-6 to the under in his 7 starts this season, but he's got a 300 BABIP. This is probably my least favorite game of the day. Let's see what you guys have in this one between these two. And go to the chat because this is my least favorite game of the day, and I need you guys to give me the scoop. That's what was happening there. I started reading the plays before I read the game. I'm going to start over. 9 Legacy Cardinals run line. Andrews on the cards. Roberts on the cards. Okay, you guys are making it clear. A lot of cards. But here's Cleveland for Real Madrid. I want to say hello to Jeff Matthews. He says Ramirez is out of that lineup today, right? We saw him here. I guess let me get the official status here, but I think we knew this to be the case for sure, right, Jeff? Thank you. Appreciate that. Questionable. Got hit on that forearm there. Usually the Cleveland forearm injuries are with their pitchers. No joke intended there. So I'm kind of in agreement with that. In fact, I'm taking the Cardinals here today as my pick. Just seems like they give Cleveland the business here right now. You look at the numbers of this series overall. Now, granted, it's an interleague series, so we only get 6 games between the two teams during the season. But right now, let me make sure of this, last 3 or 4 series, 3 or 4 years, I mean, it has been St. Louis 4-2 in the last 6 games against the two teams. Okay, St. Louis though has won 5 of their last 6 on the road. They're 8-3 straight up the last 11. Cleveland comes in having lost 5 of their last 7 at home, and right now, like I said, those teams are slip sliding away in the American League Central with Cleveland 9 games back. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, they've got life just 3.5 games behind the Cubs. All right. So I'm taking the Cards. Nice to see Jeff Matthews in the chat. Thank you, Jeff. Phillies here taking on the Braves. Luzardo taking on Schwellenbach. Schwelle here in this one. This looks like a bit of a pitching matchup to me. What do you guys think? Luzardo, 4.08 ERA, but he's starting to get on a little bit here, a little bit now with the Phillies. 7-3 record, 1.37 WHIP, 361 BABIP. Not great, but I kind of trust Luzardo a little bit in some of these spots. But this is a pretty big number, Schwellenbach there. We know the Phillies have had just a little bit bump in the road, but it doesn't feel too dramatic here right now. Schwellenbach, 6-4 with a 3.21 ERA, .99 whip, 223 batting average against. He's been Schwell, hasn't he? Let's go to some of the trends here with these two and see what you have, though, today. This number is kind of disturbing here at $1.50 or so. The total has definitely dropped, however, nearly a whole run. It's 8. It's 8. Yeah, I'd say it's 8 for the most part. Few books shading over, few books shading under. Feels like 8. But $1.50 right now with this Braves team that are they still not quite getting it together here just yet? I know that there's talk. Everyone says the Braves are starting to put it together. When are they going to start putting it together? They're still 7 games under 500 right now coming in, and they're taking on a Phillies team that looking pretty good still at 14 games over 500. Phillies won yesterday, and the Braves have lost 3 straight once again. It continues to be a little bit of a fire, but can't take Philly on the run line here. Like there are a minus $1.65. So comments from the chat here, and Thomas says this will be a low scoring game. Doge says you got to take the Phillies here plus money for sure. Andrew with the Phillies. And Nine Legacy says, I'm willing to go with Atlanta in the first 5 full game and then, or Atlanta first 5 full game money line and Phillies full game run line. I don't know if I'm getting that. Good morning to nephew Justin in the chat. Thank you, Justin, for stopping by. You can drop your stacks, play with me, or whatever you want to say is your featured game today. Good morning to my friend. And please check Justin and I out over on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We preview today's game between the Washington Mystics and the Dallas Wings. Saw him do I always want to say this joke, but I don't know if it make people cringe. But did anyone run the Dallas Wings nickname by by somebody before they named the team the Wings? All right. Thank you, guys. I think that's. I'll let you think about that. All right. Phillies here, and I'm taking the Phillies. I'm just taking the Phillies here. I'm going to take the Phillies at this price. I don't think I could pass it up. Phillies are the much better team right now. Okay, I get it. Atlanta here. Waiting for them still. When is it going to happen? I'm going to throw out yesterday's game 13-0. I mean, it was a win. I'm going to say Phillies won the game. That game got out of hand early. They won the game. It was 13-0. I'm not saying that, hey, we're going to say, wow, Phillies 13 over the Braves, 13-0. They beat them. They beat them early, and the game was over. All right. And we got a few. Here comes some of the stuff. Here's Justin giving us Austin Riley for an RBI. He likes the Braves, though, here. And full disclosure, Justin, he likes his Braves. Jermaine here. I'm not saying that he's taking it because of that. I'm taking the Phillies because of the price. Here's Jermaine, Phillies money line. He's on the homer pick. They're a little bit. The Orioles there. Robert says Braves first 5 run line. So there's some support there. And Justin says it says homer bet. Look, I hope I know that. Hey, as Braves fans, they expect more, and this is not where the Braves want to be right now, considering their standing. Fortunately, they're still breathing here, plenty of time left right now. But look, when you're barely ahead of Miami, and you're closer to Miami and Washington than you are to the Mets and the Phillies, right? So the Braves have got plenty to prove. We know that. Okay, a couple more here. Cubs and Astros with Colin Ray going up against McCullers Jr. here in this one. And man, the Houston Astros, all of a sudden, they have the best record since May 15th in the major leagues. Man, they're playing close to 650 ball, it feels like here right now. Now, look, I got a little cute there. I think too cute with the Cubs right now. And Colin Ray, 4-3 record, 4.42 ERA, 3.14 BABIP coming into this one, and a 1.39 WHIP. For Lance McCullers Jr., he's 1-2 with a 4.91 ERA. 7 starts now for McCullers, but I don't know. The Cubs are 8-4 with Colin Ray, but the numbers on the surface, I'm not too impressed right now. And you got obviously a hot series here currently, and the Astros were able to get it done and keep the winning going there with the win yesterday over the Cubs. Pretty impressively, too, 7-4 with a rookie on the mound. They're hot right now, and the Cubs, hey, this is a big series. It's not a make or break or anything like that. You would like to show out here a little bit right now, but the Astros are on fire, aren't they? Widely reported steam did come in on the under. I should adjust it on the screen. I think, yeah, it's 8.5 under 20 at least. So say what you will about totals moves, but when you go to 8.5 over 20 to 8.5 under 20, that is a pretty significant move. Houston is down to $1. I'm sorry. In fact, I had the wrong lines up there. We had a little bit of a typo. Sorry about that. We had 2 sets of lines. Maybe you guys are telling me about it. That's maybe the current line. And that looks pretty inexpensive for the Astros, the way they're going right now. And I don't think the Cubs have a obvious pitching matchup here with Ray right now. I think if you looked in the said Ray against McCullers, you'd say they would, but the stats don't bear out here currently, and especially the way the Astros are going. Give me the under in this one, though, for sure, at 8.5 runs. Yeah, the move has been on the under. I'm not getting the value here, but it is going to be my play, and I think that I'm on a premium for sure. I think in this hot team. Okay, I'll go. Oh, let me get the chat here. I just want to skip another game on the show is about the chat, you guys. How about the ovation that Kyle Tucker got there with his return to Houston? Shows that the Astro fans have a great class. And Redbeard, what's he not laughing anymore? What team? Cubs first 5 here for Robert. Doge says you got to take these Astros. And Justin, here's SF9 says take PCA to hit a home run. I'm down on those that say that was it Mikey saying we shouldn't call him PCA? It's too cliche to say PCA. No, it wasn't Mikey. Someone was doing it. Maybe it was in the mainstream media. It's becoming too cliche to say PCA. Hey, it's great. Great. I don't know why people chose to say it, but when I think of that, I think of the Poker Stars Caribbean Adventure. I always wanted to go to that poker tournament. Here's Cubs money line. Astros run line for 9 legacy. Here's Andrew on the Stros. How about Suzuki? This guy's tearing it up, though, for the Cubs right now. Robert's on the over. Want to say hello and good morning to Steve Dolan. Steve, don't leave, Steve, if you're here. I wanted to see if I got this. Oh, you know what? I don't think I need. I know that you saw it, right? I put it on the Steve, my friend Steve here, chiming in. Hope he's still here. Steve, did you see this? I put this picture on the internet, and I just happened to have it on my phone here real quick near the top. So here, Steve and I, look at Steve's picture there. You see Steve there. We're both, here's Steve and I 30 years ago. Steve! Look at that. Oh, boy. I just happened to have it on my phone because I was downloading some pics. So it was right there at the not like I look at the picture of Steve and I every day. All right. Hopefully you saw that. Say something else, Steve, if you're there, and I love you. Hopefully all is well, and I'm ready for high school football season. All right. Doge wants to go back to the PCA. And you know what? We just had the Super Seniors here at the World Series of Poker. I'm glad I'm not eligible for that tournament yet. All right. We got one more game in the major leagues, and that's going to do it. There, Kelly loved the picture. Kelly loved the picture of Ramon. And then there's a better way to look at it. We're at a football. I mean, that shows you. I guess I did a disservice there by blowing it up. All right, look at that. We're at the football. I'm working. What is Steve? Steve's not working. Were you my spotter that night, Steve? All right. Let's go to the final game of the night here with the Nationals taking on the Angels with Soroka and Hendricks here in this one. What's the score of this one going to be? 15-10? After we saw last night's crazy game there between Washington and Angels 15-9 with Urban and Soriano. So we're gonna have a bunch of runs again here tonight. I think that maybe they could get the pitching under control here, but Soroka has a 5.06 ERA and he hasn't looked that good yet. 3-5 record, 108 WHIP, 219 batting average against, and 258 BABIP. So those are pretty okay numbers on the surface here. We've said, when is Soroka going to get it in gear? Feels like he's pitching okay, except for that bum ERA. For Kyle Hendricks, a 5-6 record, 4.83 ERA, 278 BABIP. Kyle Hendricks going to go out there and get you some innings for sure. But man, the Washington bats kind of remain hot right now. I know my algorithm here, right? We have so much talk about the algorithms on X, but does kind of say under here, but I'm not sure I can get behind that. Let's see what you guys want to do here on our final baseball game, and we're almost done with the show here today, but we're not done with our coverage here on the Sports Money Network here on Saturday. Don't forget to join us tonight for UFC 317 companion stream, as I'll be there with the boys tonight, and I'll try to duplicate last week's great record that I had for the Angels here. They come in having won 7 of their last 10 at home, 4 of their last 6 overall. They are just, however, not great against this Washington Nationals team, although, well, at home they are. Angels have won 8 of the last 12 between these two teams at home. We know that's a few years sample size in interleague play. Washington, though, has dropped 15 of their last 19 coming into this one, including 8 of their last 11 on the road, but they got the win last night. The offense is definitely there. It feels like Washington's gone over in 13 of their last 18 on the road and 5 of their last 7 overall. The Angels have gone over in 4 of their last 6, and they've also gone over in 4 of their last 6 at home, but I don't think those are the same 6 games right now. Anyway, let's see what you guys have. Current line here, Angels minus $1.20 here, maybe $1.25. It does feel like it's gone down just a little bit of a move here on the Nats, and the total is 9 under at minus 115. So a little bit of move to the under. Oh, man. Let me see here. I think I just wiped out the graphic. We'll call it $1.25 and maybe 9 under 15 here. There we go. Let's return it to the screen and see what you guys have in this one. Washington and LA. I might have to veto the computer over here saying go under tonight, because man, it doesn't feel like it after what we saw last night. Maybe they can get it under control. Here come the chat here right now with, let's see here, Nationals over here for Justin. Kelly says you do have, I mean, obviously 2 of the worst bullpens. Don't forget, you can talk about these starting pitchers all you want, but if you look down there at the bottom of the bullpens, these are the two worst bullpens except for the A's. The A's got the worst bullpen in Washington. That's probably a good enough reason right there, Kelly, to go over in this one, right? Real Madrid Doge says go over. And Neto, home run if he plays tonight. Here's the Nats for Andrew K. Justin here on Wood, his bases over. Here's Bobby Mack, Nats first 5-9 Legacy Nationals. Never take Hendricks as a favorite. Textiles on the Nats. Kelly says there were 30 hits last night. Tex may be going over there. Dirty Red is ready for some UFC with us tonight. I just want to look at, I'm blowing up the screen to look at Dirty Reg's meat right here. I'm looking at Dirty Reg's meat. It looks like good meat. All right. Let's get my play here. I got to go over in this one for sure. After what I saw last night with these bad bullpens, blah, blah, blah. Give me the over in this one. That's it for Major League Baseball. We just covered 15 games in about an hour or so. And let's go to the W. Here tonight, we've got one game in the W. And like I said, you don't have to worry about the preview that I'm going to give you. You can just check out what Justin and I did over there. I should probably just run that video, but I don't think we could because it's over on the Tony's Picks channel. So, hey, I'll just cover it again here real quick with the Nats, the Mystics here on the road, taking on Dallas here tonight. And we saw Dallas. They are on the back-to-back, and they were in the game there last night for sure. They were competing and had a chance, I thought, maybe to get that cover, but in the end, they actually ended up being a bit of a blowout, as it was a 94-86. Indiana pulled away at the end, despite not having Caitlin Clark in that game. Indiana was the better team. Dallas has a dynamic backcourt. That's why I think they'll continue to find ways to improve, cover some numbers here. They're just 2-6 right now against the spread at home, so that's not great, and I know they're on the back-to-back, but at least they're getting the points here. I'm taking Dallas here as just my free play. Not going to go premium there. I like the total, so just going to have to save that total here a little bit and give me the wings here. I'll still take them. Look, Washington has been inconsistent. They are on a 3-game win streak right now, but again, they're just kind of a 500 team overall. At 8-8, we know Dallas is pretty woeful here at this point with a poor record, but they've been slow starting. I don't know if they're really going to get it together at all. I mean, we're going to have some weak sisters here, if you know what I mean, in the league. But Dallas 4-13 overall, but still, 5-7 against the spread as a dog, so maybe there's a little bit to that. They've actually been a favorite, believe it or not, in 5 games this season. So Washington's been a very good spread team. They're 10-6 ATS and 5-3 ATS on the road. But I'm going to take the Wings here. I know they're on the back-to-back, but I'm going to take them here tonight against the Mystics. Mystics have been on a road trip here right now to that big win against Las Vegas. Now they're coming in here to Dallas tonight. So I'm going to take the Wings. Here we go with some picks. Justin's got we talked about the game. So Justin's got Becker's over in assists. Kelly says Dallas did play hard in that game. That could be a factor. And Justin says his other pick is in the video, but I could just say it right here. But we want him to go watch it, Justin. And I'm on a premium on the total. Dallas, tease it. And Dirty Ridge says Dallas is not playing that well, and this is where teams will get the win, right? Just when you think Dallas will. And Robert says, here's the big one, right? Brittany Sykes, she's missed, is it 2 games in a row now that Sykes has missed, right? Is that the case? I'm looking right now at the injury list, and she's still questionable with that leg injury. And not only that, you remember Jade Milburn got hit in the face got hit in the face last game, and also they have a couple players out too. I think Angsler is out of the game with some international duty, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll see if Dejanay Carrington. I don't think she got in that game last night, right? Well, anyway, I'm taking Dallas. All right. And Velo is loving the match here in this incredible tiebreaker between Joint and Iala here for the match, right? We're in a tiebreaker and it's 9-9 right now. We might have to stay on the air. And now Iala takes the lead 10-9. Here, Robert says if wait on the status of Sykes, but if Sykes is out, then take Dallas. But man, what a match here between, and Iala is going to be serving here for the match. I'm on Iala in the match, but I took Iala plus 2.5. And no matter what, she's got that because she destroyed in that second set. It's currently 16-13 in favor of Iala. So, hey, I did win both my premium plays in tennis today. So make sure you're on board with me at winnable.com. Now I'm all over this one, and Joint wins the point, and it's 10-10. This is exciting. Final here in Eastbourne. All right, what else do I have for you? Thank you, Kelly. Really nice to see you in the chat. I got one more game to cover here, though, if I may. Let me get to it. All right, it's the Lions and the Roughriders tonight. You got Saskatchewan here at home, favored by 2, maybe even 2.5 right now. The total's dipped again to 47.5. Boy, man, that one's getting pretty low here right now. But you know what? It could be a low-scoring game if you think about what's going on here in this one right now. We are still awaiting, I believe, the status of Nathan Rourke. I believe he could actually make the lineup here today. Now, if not, it's going to be a little bit tougher for the Lions. They didn't get great quarterbacking play last week with Rourke out of there. And for Saskatchewan, they're going to be on their backup too, I believe, here with Jake Mayer. So the offenses could struggle. We've already seen this total drop, I believe, from 51 down to 47.5. Hey, I want to report this steam in the background. Maya Joint's now serving for the match here against Iala. It's totally flopped here. Joint on serve here can win with a point. And she's done it. She wins the championship there in a terrific match. Joint wins over Iala, but hey, I got the win with Iala, plus 2.5 games with my premium pick. All right, steam to the under, though. Here's San Francisco and Chicago. Steam to the under just coming in moments ago. It was 8, but right now we're seeing it go down. Iala very upset with losing there. Let's see. Total here right now in that San Francisco game is down to 8 under 25. So we could be seeing go to 7.5 here as well. So big question marks surrounding this game, especially if Rourke can somehow make the lineup for BC. It feels like they need a win. They're 1-2. Saskatchewan's 3-0. So, and Saskatchewan's have been great. Ouellette has been terrific. You know, when you got a guy who can be your, strong running back play there. You've also got some great other play here with Saskatchewan with Keyshawn Johnson here. He had 4 receptions last game. Now, BC's got some guys that can really get it done, but you need Rourke, it feels like, in there because you got guys. Keon Hatcher has been one of the best players in the league so far. The defense hasn't been there. There's been some key miscues by BC, but man, you had Katoy with that big game last, and you also have Justin McInnes anytime, man. These guys were good in that last game, so really want to give BC a chance. We just don't know enough about the game in the status, it feels like right now. Maybe you guys do. Well, nobody said anything in the chat. Everybody's ready to wrap up the show. Is this thing still on? We've got 8 of you watching, but nobody cares about this CFL game here, it feels like tonight. Maybe I'll just leave it alone here at this point. Saskatchewan's 3-0. They've looked great at home. I figure they can. If Rourke isn't in there, I think Saskatchewan's going to win. It feels like right now Rourke is not going to make the lineup. So I want to make a pick here. I just don't want to have to be stuck. But I always try to make one pick for every game, man. I'll take Saskatchewan right now, I guess. Because it feels like Rourke is not going to make the lineup, and then I'm going to have, I'm going to be on probably that. I hope it doesn't go much lower on the total. Like I said, it was as high as 52, and now it's 47.5. So, been a big move. Thank you, Doge. Somebody said something. He says, how about Hamilton getting it done there against Montreal? Bethel Thompson was just dismal last night and cost them big time. And I already whined about the bad beat that I got. Even though I'm not a bad beat whiner, I was this morning because I had the under in that game. And, man, how did it go over in the end with all those points in the fourth quarter last night? That's it for the show. We do have some games coming up here in soccer. In fact, let me give one game out here right now. I'll do because we got an hour before this one goes. I won't send it out on the picks. I like Botafogo actually over Palmeiras. They are an underdog in this first game up right now at the FIFA Club World Cup. Let me get the current line. Botafogo plus a half of minus 145. I think I would just prefer to take Botafogo to advance here, if I may. Greek Sport also won his match against Mutet just in. So I'm going to take at the FIFA Club World Cup Botafogo to advance here. That is plus 135. So I've got a little bit of an upset here. I'm taking Botafogo over Palmeiras today at the FIFA Club World Cup. That one goes off at the top of the hour. And that'll be my my soccer play here. Redbeard says, what was the score at first of all, you got Doge says the over's always alive. And Redbeard said, what was the score in the first half yesterday in the Roughriders, in the Tiger Cats game yesterday? Let's see here. It was, it was like, what was it, 11-10 or something? I don't even know. It wasn't even that. It was not even that yesterday. I'm going to look at it here right now. And then we'll be done. We're already done with the show. It was 8-4. It was 8-4.
Final.
It was. Here's the. Want to mention this about yesterday's game. Last night, Andrew said at the end of the first quarter, CFL fan who's make fun of Bobby here. He doesn't know much about that league. The score was 1-1 at the end of the first quarter. How do you? My rule is if it ever is 1-1 at the end of the first quarter, you get on a live in game under. Okay. It went over. It went over. I'm still whining. I'm never going to be the whiner of that. Redbeard, he had the first half under. Okay, it went under. It was 8-4, and it was 1-1 at the end. That's CFL at its best, right there. It was 1-1 at the end of the first quarter. This show is over. This show is over. Okay, so Botafogo, that's our play here on the show to advance over Palmeiras, and I'll have some other picks in the Club World Cup and CONCACAF Gold Cup tonight. Honduras and Panama, and also Saudi Arabia will be in action as well tonight in their matchup against Mexico. Got to be looking forward to that one, man, tonight. Watch out, Mexico. We'll see. All right, that's going to do it for the Morning Steam Show. Coming up also Chelsea and Benfica, and I'll have a Major League Soccer card for sure tonight over at winnable.com. Hey, you can get my best plays here at winnable.com/Ramon. My picks for the action here on Saturday, including my picks in the UFC. Your handicapping, you get started right now with our programming here on the Sports Money Network with First Strike. And the guys, they go over the rest 3 fights of the night. And I've got my handicappers, VB and Liam Picks Fights, as our guest this week on VB MMA Picks. So we went over the card there as well. Check it out, get ready for your action. But hey, if you just want to get my plays, go over to winnable.com/Ramon and get the plays there for tonight. There's the address, and use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. You can get my full fight card package. Every fight I predict with the method of victory. They're a la carte for just $3 over there at winnable.com. So check it out. All right, that's going to do it here for the morning team. Thanks for the final comments there. SF Niner says USA keep rolling at the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Hey, if they could do something in this tournament, that would shake things up a bit. At least they're getting some players in there. We've got a little bit of breaking news here right now, and let's get to it. Hey, breaking news right now from the NBA. We know that they've just had the draft, but trade news coming in here right now. Reported trade, not official, but it's starting to break on all the news channels here. Lonzo Ball is headed to the Cavaliers, one of my favorite players, certainly in the league. Say what you want about Lonzo and maybe not ever living up to the expectations. I don't know. I think he's had a pretty okay career despite those debilitating injuries there, and he'll probably end his career early in the end, but he's traded to the Cavaliers. He'll get a big-time chance right now to maybe win an NBA title. You got to think the Cavs are going to be live in the Eastern Conference this season, given some of the turmoil going through some of these other teams and where they stand. So Lonzo Ball is headed to the Cavaliers. The Bulls will get Okoro. That's not a straight-up deal, but those are the players involved. That one breaking here just now. Lonzo Ball to the Cavaliers. And I'm a big Ball fan, man, because I remember watching those when live streaming of game, was just, we know the high school games get streamed, man, but I always watch those Chino Hills games with the brothers. I love that. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me here, and we'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with more Morning Steam. But don't forget, we'll be here tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, for sure, with UFC 317 companion coverage with the Sports Betting Bros and Subhuman Gaucho. We'll have those picks. We'll have them be going through the cards. It's going to be a fun night of UFC action with a great card, too. Championship bouts, Topuria and Oliveira and Pantoja and Cara France for that flyweight title. So join me there tonight. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific here on the Sports Money Network. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.